This is our live Power Pink call. My name is Nikki Westerfield.
And I am Kara Flippin. I'm a senior Ruby ambassador, and we are so excited to have our special guest on this week. We can't wait for you to hear her story and let her give some great insight to us and how to grow and develop our teams.
Yes, we're so excited. Our guest tonight is Helen Mcfadden. We're so excited to have her on the call. This is our third call for Pink Power Live, so we're super excited to have Helen on. And she's going to share her story and some tips and stuff to help all of us. So we're really excited. I guess I'll go ahead and let you take it away, Helen, if you want to just share your story.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Kara and Nikki, for having me. I was telling them both right before the call started, I'm so proud of you for doing this. I mean, this is a huge step in leadership and showcasing your team, just sharing what you were going to do with this channel. It's very, very cool. So I'm proud. I love people who take the reins and step into their greatness, and it's probably a little scary and exciting at the same time, and that's what growth is all about. So kudos to both of you for doing this.
Thank you.
Yay, I love it. So again, my name is Helen Mcfadden, and I'm super excited to share my story. I love sharing, just any stories in Plexus because they're all so great. We all have something we've just majorly benefited from this company, whether it's health or wealth, and most of the time it's going to be both. And so it's always a privilege to share my story and how in some way, hopefully, it can connect with one of you maybe out there listening, and you could see this happening for yourself as well. I had been in network marketing for 16 years prior to Plexus. I got out in about 2008, 2009. It took me a little while to ease my way out of the business because it was my comfort zone. I had been with this cosmetic company for many, many years. But I found myself at a time in my life where I was burnt out. I really was tired of sales. I needed to take care of my aging parents who needed a caregiver. So I took that opportunity in my life to close that door in my life and pursue other options for a plan B. When they were no longer with me someday, I knew that I would need to go back to work full time. So I had many jobs in those several years while I was taking care of them. And I even went back to school and thought maybe I'll be a teacher, and I got into debt right away on online college, and then I knew it wasn't in my heart to be one, so I was real frustrated. But I just felt like I'm just going to keep praying and moving forward and figuring this whole thing out, which is not a fun thing to do when you're in your 40s, I might add. So one of my jobs that I had when I was on my little hiatus was I was a Weight Watcher leader, and that was my very favorite job of all my part-time jobs. I really connected with my members because I have struggled with my weight my whole life. I made Lifetime in 2005 and was offered a position as a leader, but the time wasn't right, and so I really did find myself missing certain parts of network marketing, like helping people to reach their goals, motivating people, encouraging people, being a cheerleader for people, and that's what I felt like I could do in Weight Watchers, and I ended up just falling in love with that whole part of it, being helping people with health and their weight loss goals. So it was just kind of a win-win, but it was on a very small scale. I had one meeting a week with about 30 people, and I really did love it, and I did have some frustrations as well, because as much as I believe in the program, I had several of my my clients or members that did every single thing right to lose weight, and they just couldn't. Their body would not allow them to shed weight, even though they were reducing their calories, counting points, drinking their water, exercising, journaling their food, doing everything right. And so that was really frustrating for me, and I just felt I wanted to do more for them, but I couldn't, other than just tell them, eat more fiber, eat more protein, and of course they're just wanting to like punch me right between the eyes, right, because they were just loving their carbs and sugar so much, but it was a struggle, and they knew they couldn't eat as many of them on the plan. So I literally used to pray on my drive home from my meeting. It's about a 20-minute drive to Reno, where I live. Lord, help me find a plan B for my life. Have it be something like a Weight Watcher leader. I'd put all these like things out there, like help me with this, but I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to do network marketing again. And so, of course, that's saying we plan and God laughs. I found myself on Facebook in the middle of the summer in 2012, which I wasn't really on Facebook that often, not like I am now. So I missed a lot of things. And a name popped up on my screen, Sheila Medina, who I had been in the other company with, my network marketing company with, years past. And I had heard through the grapevine she got out as well, so I was curious to see what she was up to, and I clicked on her name. We were not even Facebook friends, so this is where I feel it's very divine that I learned about Plexus. A mutual friend liked her picture, and that's the only reason I saw her name on my Facebook wall. So when I clicked on her name, I quickly saw that she was in a company called Plexus. She had just picked up her brand new Plexus Lexus. She was in New Orleans in an evening gown. She had just won a diamond Rolex watch, and I was like, she got back into network marketing, because most jobs do not give away Lexuses and diamond Rolex watches. So I was like, what is Plexus? What would she leave cosmetics for to do instead? Because I knew, like myself, she was pretty successful in the other business, but I just wondered, why would she go back? So it was just one of those overwhelming feelings in my life when I knew that I had to share these products. When I looked on the website, learned about the pink drink, so many of my members that struggle with their carb and sugar cravings, myself included, I felt like, oh my gosh, this could really help so many people that I know and my members. So I called Sheila, and remember me, and we had a long conversation about Plexus, and I just asked her where I could find a meeting in Reno. There was no such thing. And so my business mind took over my plan B, because I thought, oh my goodness, I would be the first person sharing Plexus, and what an exciting opportunity, but scary at the same time. But it was, like I said, just an overwhelming feeling of leap of faith that I knew I had to take. I called my best friend, Sonia. Actually, I texted her, and I said in a simple sentence, because I was so convicted that this was an amazing opportunity company. I trusted Sheila. I had no reason to not believe her when she told me her income after her first year and how well the products were working for people. I had no reason to not believe her. So I told Sonia, our lives are about to change. And she was like, whose lives? Are you crazy? Have you been drinking? I mean, seriously, it was so random. And then, of course, she finds out later it's network marketing, and she's like, you really lost your mind, because she was on the same page with me. When we both left, we really didn't think we would ever do it again. I was probably even more adamant about it than her. So to make a very long story short, we joined with that leap of faith together in September of 2012, and we pretty much locked arms. And what I tell people about our story, because we did move pretty quickly, we became emeralds in 6 months. I became a sapphire in 7, diamond in 9 months, and I know that's really fast, and it doesn't usually happen like that for most people. But we really, really made up our mind from the beginning. We saw what we had in this opportunity. We had something to compare it to from our prior experience, and we just believed. I don't know how else to put it. I know that might sound just like, okay, that's it, but it was like, we just made up our mind. The first week we drank the drink, we had great success. She lost 7 pounds. I was feeling amazing. I didn't need my 4 o'clock nap anymore. I wasn't craving my carbs and sugar, so it was kind of like, oh my gosh, Sheila was serious. And think of all the people we could help, and what an amazing opportunity. When we left our cosmetic company, there was over 3 million beauty consultants. And in Plexus at the time, there was only 17,000. But I say that to say now we've grown like crazy. Our whole company, we have about 300,000 ambassadors, I think. That's the last number I've heard. Mm-hmm. But that's nowhere near being a household name and, being saturated or whatever people might think that could mean. I mean, we are still considered a opportunity of a lifetime, and most people still haven't heard of our opportunity, but yet we have so many successes in the last few years, testimonies, business success to prove that we are solid as a company, we're going places. So I just feel incredibly blessed. God blessed me from day one with amazing people. No, I didn't bring over everybody from my cosmetic company with me. I've got a handful on my team, of course, because I value relationships. I didn't burn bridges, and I felt it was important to always keep doors open for anything. Credibility is huge, and I'm a people person. And so I worked many, many years in my other business to keep those relationships, and then, of course, in life, just friendships. So I was able to pique people's interest, and to this day, I continue, to add to my team and try to lead by example the best I can, as busy as I am. But It's been an amazing ride. So, so, so blessed.
You have such an awesome story, and I feel like so many people kind of have the same experience that you do. Is they were praying. They were praying for something. They needed something different, and God showed up, and the answer was Plexus, and it's changed their lives drastically.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
It's so awesome. I love your story. I just love hearing everything, and it's so funny. I have to say, I actually heard about Plexus from Lori Cooper being on my Facebook. Somebody liked her picture, and it came up on my Facebook, and that's how I learned about Facebook too. So we kind of have that in common.
Yes. Yeah. Most people have. I mean, well, the irony in me seeing Sheila's name was she's not a huge Facebooker. Like to this day, she'll post a Plexus post maybe, once or twice a week. So for me to even spot that Plexus post, because her feed was full of other stuff, and it was the first thing that came up because she had just gotten back from New Orleans. For me to even be on Facebook, see her name, I mean, it's just, it's so divine, and I feel like what a testament to honoring God's nudging and giving you that gut instinct that, do this. Because I really feel like, I mean, it wasn't like a nudge from God. It was like like a push, like you are doing this, whether you are scared or not. Because I was like Miss Weight Watcher leader, and I told everybody I wasn't going to do network marketing anymore. So I had some credibility, like on the line, like what's Helen, has she lost her mind? And then of course they find out it's a pink drink. Oh, she's drinking Kool-Aid, like the Kool-Aid. So I had, to overcome a little bit of that. But credibility is everything, and really just working on that in your relationships, and, being sincere, and really looking people in the eye and just saying, I've got something I really want to share with you. I didn't do mass emails, mass Facebook postings from the beginning. I did a ton of personal texts, personal emails, phone calls, one-on-ones, because I wanted people to see my excitement about these products and what we could do, a visionary type of idea in Reno. Like we could, as far as sponsoring them, like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing opportunity. We all have this opportunity to build a huge team here in our city and beyond, because most people have never even heard of this product.
Mm-hmm.
So true. I think that sometimes a lot of people get wrapped up in posting on Facebook, and I'm even guilty of doing it myself, and we kind of forget that hiding behind text messages and hiding behind the internet is not the way to go sometimes. We have to get those personal relationships building, and,
Absolutely.
it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important. I actually have I have a question. We have questions, of course. What do you feel like is income producing activities for you? And like what type of daily things do you do that you feel like really benefits your business?
Well, my income producing activities are weighted way more with working with my team. Not to say I don't always have my bag with me. I have like a little zippered pouch that I keep in my purse. I always say I will forever have a sore right shoulder and carry a big purse, for the reason that I need to always have my supplies and 3-day trials and samples and trifolds and business cards with me. And so, I'm always prepared. I think being prepared is such an important component to our success, in that you have those tools with you, you know what you're going to say, and you need to, be ready to just look people in the eye and open up with that. Have you heard of Plexus? Or, oh my gosh, you've been so friendly today. I would love to tell you about what I do. Or, just out of curiosity, have you ever heard of Plexus? Or just out of curiosity, do you know anybody who struggles with blood sugar issues, inflammation? And I don't just come out and say that unless, we've had a conversation. But I tell people, when you decide to become a Plexus ambassador, your new job is that you need to talk to everyone. So, that's just what we need to do. We need to start becoming very chatty with everyone. So I try the best I can to do any kind of income-producing activity, which I feel is always going to be about connecting with others, sharing this business, sharing these products, just opening your mouth wherever you go, reaching out to people, following up. And I'll be the first to admit that is one of my hardest things, because I'm not organized by nature. and I'll jot things down on my date book. I try to, really keep organized that way, but I'll miss things, and I won't always follow up like when I say I'm going to, like to the minute. So that's a challenge for me. I think people who don't have that naturally, organized personality will find that. So I'm always looking for new ways to stay on top of things and to be organized. But for a leader in my position, my income-producing activities are planning events with my team, travel plans, Zoom meetings, growth, workshops. I'm in a team or a class right now with 5 people, and we're doing the 21 Laws of Irrefutable Leadership. I mean, to me, that's income-producing because I'm helping to develop leaders, confident leaders, to grow their businesses into emeralds, which of course, builds my business. So it's a little bit different on my end, but nevertheless, I will always be an ambassador first, regardless of what rank I am. An ambassador first, which means, spreading the plexus love every day the best I can with my time allotted.
Nice, love it. That's great advice. I love it. I need to get more organized myself. I'm organized in certain things, but some things I'm not, and I could get a lot better at. So,
yeah, it's one of those things, when you're real outgoing and you love people and you're, all about relationships. It's very hard to be that well-rounded balance where you're good at everything. And if you all saw my desk right now, you'd either be disgusted or you'd be excited because I'd give you hope,
I know that if I did not have Siri on my phone, because every time I talk to somebody, I'll be like, remind me to message Susie on Wednesday at 3 p.m. or something like that.
I know, yeah. If I can get Siri to understand me, usually she'll come back and talk practically like I've said something in Chinese. I'm like, I didn't say that.
that does happen, yeah.
Yes, it happens to me all the time,
So I feel like a lot of brand new ambassadors, whenever they first jump on, they feel super overwhelmed sometimes. I mean, we have a lot of information out there, and sometimes they get hung up on, I have to know every single detail before I can share, or, I need to lose 10 pounds before I can tell anybody about this. But I feel like it's really good to start sharing from the very beginning. But what are some things that you do to help encourage people to maybe start sharing plexus from the very beginning and not worrying about knowing all the nitty-gritty details before they say anything?
Well, that's an actually really easy thing for me because I didn't wait to start sharing. I came into plexus healthy. And I think it's kind of fascinating if you really think about it, and I don't apologize for that. I feel like, I still struggled with a 10-pound swing, and I could lose a little bit of weight, but I wasn't on any medications. I never had headaches. I was pretty healthy. I exercised. I ate healthy. Mine was a purposeful, I'm looking for a plan B, and I'm looking for a business opportunity, of course, being excited about taking the products myself, but I didn't feel like I needed to wait for anything. Now, this is back in 2012 when we had a fraction of the testimonies we have now. Mm-hmm. And I felt like what I did was I started to sell 3-day trials right away. And I asked people, because I was the first person in Reno and I wanted testimonies, that I just said, I'm just going to sell this to you at my cost because I'm pioneering this product in our area. I'm looking for testimonies. I want to be able to share with people how well this product works and how good I feel, of course, on it, but I need to share about other people who might have more health challenges and that, kind of thing is how I worded it. And so I just immediately, when I had a testimony from a friend or new customer or whatever, I used that as my stories. Of course, Sonia, her fibromyalgia testimony helped because I could say, my best friend started this the same day as me, and she's feeling so great, and she's lost 7 pounds. I just started sharing. I mean, my goodness, it has a 60-day money-back guarantee, and there are so many testimonies out there that waiting is just a fear. It doesn't make any sense, really, because there's just too many other stories that you can share. And if you really think about it, if people do get in this for the business only, then what would they be waiting for? If they're not, I mean, everyone's going to benefit. Sleep better, more energy, we all know that. That's a given. But if they're looking for, I've got to like see if I lose a pound my first, it doesn't make any sense. In my mind, I never thought that. So I have a hard time when people use that, what I perceive as an excuse. And you got to be gentle with them though from the beginning, but I try to use that logic, that rationale with them. There's plenty of testimonies you can share. If your neighbor has diabetes and you're waiting to lose your first 5 pounds before you share Plexus with him, when he has a totally separate health issue, that would be, no logic, right? I say, that would be mean and nasty. Don't be selfish. Start sharing. Open your mouth. Your new job is that you have to start becoming chatty.
Yeah.
So, I just don't, I just encourage them right away. Make your list of 100. Circle the 20 that are what you feel your hottest prospects. Start messaging. Find out when is the next event. 3-way calls with yourself or your direct upline to start sharing. Meet for coffee at Starbucks. Get the word out. Order catalogs. Whatever you have to do, be prepared with you. Watch videos. Get trained. We all have the same back office. We all have the same opportunity with the resources available to us, which is endless, I might add. Everybody's made great videos. There's just an abundance of information out there. So my job, I feel like when people are brand new and they're hesitant, is just to sit down with them and try to overcome, what are you afraid of? You want this. You want to be successful. You want to earn your first $100 bonus by becoming a silver. Let's just have a sense of urgency then and get you going and get some success under your belt. You're going to feel great on these products. Share other testimonies in the meantime. And I realize not everybody's going to be like, okay, but I come from that place. That's my mindset. That's my posture, how I work with people. And I feel like, more is caught than taught. And if they catch your passion, your belief in them, your persistence, which is much different than being pushy, passionately persistent with them to just, make it all about them and their new goal, their new weight loss goal, their new business goal. Make it all about them always, and let them know your job is to help them to become successful. You're not their boss. You're not their manager. You're not their counselor. Your job is to be their cheerleader and their encourager, and that you want this for them. And I just don't buy it. So I think if you have that posture, you're not going to have as many of those excuses, or your team will support you on that too. I said the same thing, and Kara told me this, and I'm glad I didn't wait. Because if you watched our diamond panel the other night, that was a lot of what the diamonds were saying. Don't wait. Don't wait. So
I love that, and I couldn't agree more. And a lot of times it is just kind of fear of the unknown or fear of rejection, I feel like, and just helping them get past that.
Absolutely. It's usually fear, it's just that. And some personality styles will be very stubborn. I want to be on these products 30 days. And sometimes you just can't get around that. But all you can do is what you can do, and continue to be love on them, encourage them, and really post examples in your group. If you find that that's an issue, find other people who didn't wait and maybe post in your team pages about, I'm so glad I didn't wait, so that's third party. It's not always coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
They can be like, gosh, that does kind of make sense. And so this business is so much about layering. It's just people don't always get it right in the first time, and they'll just that it's just, I think of it as layers and layers and layers of other people's knowledge. We can't be all things to everybody, and thankfully we have the most amazing people in this company, and people will be able to relate to so many people. And so I try to expose my team to all my great team, or my new ambassadors to my great team right away, so they can catch that vision for themselves through myself and other people.
That's awesome. I have another question. Just even for myself, personal development is so important, and I know it is, and I know a lot of people come to the business, and for me, I've learned, I've had a lot of personal growth myself, and I think it's just all the encouraging people that there are, and the love and support that we have, I think it's just been, awesome for me. I've changed as a person and I've become better, and I love that Plexus, pushes us to do that. I just think it's so important. What kind of things do you do daily to or how often do you do things just in personal development?
Well, every day. I'm always reading a book. Like I said earlier, I was doing the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership with my team of 5 people, so I'm rereading that, which is always good. That's kind of one of those books that you're just going to want to revisit often, certain chapters, maybe more than others. And I'm reading Good Leaders Ask Great Questions right now. I'm a huge John Maxwell fan. We're about to start another book, the What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And so, and then I also read other things that aren't always personal growth. I think that's kind of to say, I hope this makes sense, but that kind of is part of personal growth, is to, of course, be reading those books, but also taking time, having downtime with your family, turning things off. Being able to reflect is really important. I mean, if we are always in the mode, like the Plexus mode, and talking to people 24/7, and it can be very emotionally draining. And so I have really come to realize over my now 20 years of being in network marketing, when you include my other career before Plexus, how important it is to have your own personal time. There's a lot to be, you're going to learn a lot about yourself when you reflect. And what I mean by that is, before you go to bed at night, thinking about situations in your day that you maybe could have done better, or how you're going to learn from the situation, and what you're going to do next time differently. And if it's because our job is a series of repetition, right? Every now and then something new will crop up, and you'll learn, oh my gosh, I thought I've seen it all, and now I have this situation on my hands. But for the most part, we do the same thing. Like we've been talking about, what do you do with a new person, and how do you talk to people when you're out and about? So I just think it's so important that we shut it off and be with our family and read other books outside of that, so that we just our job, if you really think about it, people are watching us, and they want to see how well-rounded we are, and that if I join Plexus, do I have to be doing Plexus 24/7? I don't think that's healthy in anything. It's important to have balance in life, obviously, in everything. And so that's kind of part of what I wanted to share about my personal growth, is that in itself, not feeling like you aren't being a good mom or a good wife or a good, exercising, taking a walk and shutting it off. I think that it's really hard to be great at everything, and nobody is going to be great at every single thing, but you can certainly work on having balance. And when you go to work with your team, you're that much more refreshed, and that you can really talk about balance with them, because that's going to be an issue in our social media world now we live in. And it's so, as you guys know, I'm sure, it's so easy to do Plexus 24/7. But you can get burnt out, and it can really hinder you from developing leaders if you're not taking out personal time for yourself each day. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, very true. I've actually I've went through this many times where I get really organized and I take my time away, but then I have weeks. I think it's actually this contest this month has got me on my phone all the time.
Yep.
And
yeah, it's a good contest.
I know, it really is. And I have 6 ambassadors, and I only need 2 more. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get, I have to do it. And so I've been on my phone a lot lately, and it's very true. It does wear you out, and we are such better workers when we have a break and we come back even more refreshed and more ready to work, and just sitting that small amount of time every day to get income producing activities finished, I think really helps me, because then I spend that time wisely. I'm not saying I don't ever get caught up on Facebook, because I do, but I think that when I spend that time a little bit wiser and tell myself I have to get this and this and this done, it helps me a lot. Rather than, I could be on Facebook all day, and then, I know some of us say we're on Facebook all day and then we don't get
anything
done at all. And the 2 simple things that would have only took a few seconds, we miss.
Mhm.
So I think it's just so important. So very true. Thanks for your advice.
Yeah, just having boundaries and realizing that people are watching, and it's just all about trying to be as balanced as possible, for sure.
Yeah, so true.
One of the biggest blessings of Plexus, like for me personally, is being able to be a stay-at-home mom to my two little girls. So that, I mean, if I'm working Plexus, 24/7 and not having the balance, then I would still miss things like I am at the 9 to 5 job. So it is
Mhm.
exciting that I only have to work a couple hours a day, but I still get time away from them and I'm still able to have a successful business.
Exactly. We have it good.
Do what?
We have it good.
Oh, yes, we do. I'm so
Yes,
thankful every day.
we do, and it's so nice too when we want to like go on vacation or just take the weekend off. Like if we're busy doing something, it's like we can do it and come back to it when we need to.
Hmm.
Um, so I know whenever we go out and we start building a team, we're so excited to start signing up new people, and we work really hard to sign up those new people, and then we think that the work is over once they sign up. And really, I feel like it's kind of just beginning there. But can you just kind of give us some advice on what you do to help really train your level ones to help them build strong relationships with their level ones from the very beginning and be a good leader to them?
It's a great question. I think what I try to keep it real, and I really try to let people know what they signed up for when they join Plexus. I think a lot of people think it's going to be different, which means easier than they thought when they join. They see somebody get a Lexus, or she did it in 10 minutes, and they get all excited and they think it's going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
And so I try to really paint the picture of exactly what network marketing means, and that it is about relationships, and it's not an overnight get-rich-quick scheme, and that they need to, figure out their why right away, because they are going to hit challenging times, and through those challenging times, what's going to keep them going? They're their own boss. I'm not their boss. I'm their cheerleader. I'm their leader. I'm an example for them to follow, but I can't make them do this business. So if you're going to wake up every day and share Plexus with other people and have a big goal possibly to replace an income, or even just have a few extra $100 a month, vacation money, etc., what is going to drive you to do that? Because you are going to get no's. Don't count on your friends and family. If they support you and join from the beginning, you are one of the lucky ones, because a lot of us, including myself, still have family that won't even touch these products. So I really try to keep it real from the beginning, and then I encourage them just to get into action, like we talked about with 100 names, and really just the only thing, if you really think about it, the only thing all of us should be focusing on every single month for our own personal activity is going silver. And if you keep it that simple all the time with your team from the beginning, and of course challenging them to get their silver bonus in the first month is of course amazing, and a doable goal, because the minute they see that money coming in, it changes things. It makes it real for them. And we know that that'll happen with PV and even their own order, and all that. But when they sponsor and get Friday checks and then they get a bonus, that can really start to get them excited about seeing that this can really happen for them. It's tangible. So, keeping it as simple as possible. And again, that's a challenge, because we are in social media land all the time, and there's a million ideas out there, and they're going to get opinions from other people, and all that is okay, because there are great ideas out there. But you, as the upline responsible person who brought them in, they're going to duplicate everything that you are sharing with them. And so the more simple you keep it, the more realistic it is for them in their mind to see that they can fit this in, because most of them are going to have another job. And so plugging them into ways, leaders like Rosalind Payne, who became a diamond working a full-time job. I think she has a really good video out there on how she built a business working a full-time job. So just knowing your resources as a responsible upline, a professional upline, where you can point them to the direction of anyone who they can relate to so they can see how it was done is always great. Knowing where to find those, things for them for you to share with them. Does that help? I mean, was there something else, another part of your question that I missed?
No, that does really help. And I think that it helps that, like what you said, there are other, I mean, because some people do start sponsoring in the very beginning, and it helps having other leaders, like you said, other videos that they can plug into too, and going silver and just helping them focus on that. That, for me, that was helpful.
Yeah, and another thing that I'm a huge believer in is launch parties, and having them have a launch party, and repeating that once a year. I have a leader who had 3 launch parties in the beginning because she was like Miss Social Butterfly, and she could only fit so many people in her home. So she had like 3 back-to-back every couple weeks. I was going to her house, and she had another launch party. But then she had another one 2 years later because she met all these people since she joined Plexus, and she wanted to have another launch party. I was like, perfect. So, that is a very, very duplicatable thing. It's a great way to get the word out to your people, your friends and family about your business, because those then that can't go, and they were invited to this whole Plexus thing, and you can follow up with 3-way calls, meet them at Starbucks to let them know if they can't make it what this is all about. So it's kind of like, my feeling about what we do is, we are business owners. We are professionals, and I train my team often about being an exceptional ambassador. And if you were to, have you ever known of a business to open up their doors and not have like some sort of grand opening, an announcement? That's just a logical thing. So why should our business be any different? Posting on Facebook is a layer of ways to do it, but it's not the way. It's been very successful for many people, but we have to keep in mind that not everybody joins Plexus and has 600 Facebook friends that are going to jump on this. And so we have to really think. I'm so old-fashioned when it comes to that. I came from kind of like the party mentality, even though I don't believe that that's the only way, by any means. I don't want to be gone every weeknight. That's why I was intrigued with Plexus, because of course the whole internet business thing. However, we have to remember the best, most effective way to ever do this business is face-to-face. So launch parties are great because they can watch their upline do one. I have traveled, hours, road trips. I've flown. I'm not telling people you have to do that, but that's how much I believe in them for people to get the vision themselves. My personal launch party, so to speak, Sheila Medina flew out for. And I had, I think, 6 people join that night. I had the ones who didn't join. I think I got 4 more new preferred customers. And so many people have similar stories. It's just, it's such a no-brainer when you're able to get the product in front of people and share with them the 60-day money-back guarantee. They taste the pink drink. It's simple. It's, they see it, how it can fit in their life, and then you throw out the business opportunity, $34.95. And that can build so much belief from the get-go with your team members, and then they're going to go ahead and duplicate that with their team as well.
I love that, and I think that's one of the things that I definitely did a lot of in the very beginning was have my own launch parties and do it with my friends and family and people that were close to me as well. And I feel like even now some of the strongest people on my team are people that I really was able to get the face-to-face connection with and really start that way with them.
Absolutely.
So true. I have a girl on my team that's actually been doing launch parties for this month, and she has literally gotten some people to silver right away, right when they join, and then this month especially, they're getting those extra bonuses.
Yeah.
So that's just getting them really, really excited, and like her team is just doing like amazing, and they're just like so excited. Shout out to you, Wendy George. She's just doing so good. She even makes like flyers for each one of their like launch parties, so that gets them really excited. So like they're just having so much fun with it, and they're actually like successful. So
I love it. Good job, Wendy. And that becomes the thing. See, so much of that's the whole art of duplication. When you make something, this is what we do. It's just the thing you do. Like for instance, we talk about selling 3-day trials, not giving them away. That's a lot of money just to be passing out to people that you're not really sure they're going to take it or not. You add value to something when you actually sell it. That's why Weight Watchers charge for meetings. If they were free, why would people feel there's going to be value to the meetings? So we had a senior Ruby that joined my team years ago. I mean, she is a senior Ruby now. She joined as senior Ruby. But she became a senior Ruby pretty darn quick because she started to just, well, everybody needs to have trials on hand. And we were promoting them 1 for 12 or 2 for 20, and it just became the thing. So when new people joined, they wouldn't dream of doing anything different because that's what all the successful people were doing with the highest PV. So we have a lot of power in those first few weeks with our ambassadors that we bring on about, what's our posture, what are we telling them to do, and training them. That's important from day one. Launch parties and reaching out, being personable, understanding what you have, and Plexus being a visionary. I used to be very, very hesitant to talk about goal setting. And, if I really think about it, and I'm not bagging on my old company by any means, but I did so much goal setting in my prior career in network marketing with so many people that never reached their goals. We had a really difficult, more challenging marketing plan, and I never saw the success I saw with Plexus. And so I was kind of gun shy from the beginning to just really talk about with people, get personal with them, and talk about, make your goal, your dream board, and write out your affirmations, and you can do this. You can get to Maui, or Kona, I should say now. You can get there, and you can, win your Lexus and earn your Lexus and all that. I do that so much more now because I'm so confident more in myself, this opportunity, everything about what we have to offer. And it's amazing when you give that to other people, when you really can pour yourself out there. It can really mold their beginning so much more exciting, to be more exciting and believable for them, because they realize that you are vested in them and you believe in them, and that you are going to be, it solidifies you as being a good leader for them. So I'm glad you asked that about the beginning, because I feel like we have this window of time where we just got to get our hands on them and do it right, and really keep it real, give them a little tough love about your relationship, and you're not going to baby them and babysit them and all that, but you believe in them and you want this for them, and you direct them, you give them the resources. You're not going to do it for them, but you really show them the way that this can be done. I think it's really critical.
It's definitely not like a lottery ticket, as I've heard it put, but it is definitely a definitely unbelievable, doable opportunity that somebody like me that didn't even know network marketing was a thing can jump in and do and be successful at. So
exactly, it's awesome.
That's true.
I think you're up, Nikki.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 questions in one. Why do you think that belief is so important, and what do you do, like, if you're having a bad day, to keep yourself positive?
Okay. Well, I'll answer that one first. I watch Joyce Meyer and not the news. It's so depressing to watch the news. I figure, you know what, if the world starts burning, I'll learn about it on Facebook probably, so I don't need to watch all of it on TV 24/7. Belief is everything. Your business starts and ends in belief. In your belief, and it's in those little 6 inches right between your temples right here is where you are going to win or lose. It's really that simple, and the belief it's not like people have that belief from day one. I understand that, and that's why your belief needs to be transferred to them immediately from day one, like I was just talking about. And they can borrow your belief, and they can start to see this for themselves. And that's why personal growth is such a huge component of what we're doing, because the more you grow and gain in your self-confidence, and confidence is everything, right, in our posture, and why would people choose to do business with you? Are you a confident business owner, and are you confident in your opportunity in these products? So that's all going to come from belief. Boldness comes from belief. We have to be bold to share these products and open our mouth and be the chatty person you're now supposed to be. And that is only going to happen if you believe in yourself, your products, this company, network marketing, and you believe in others. You have to believe in others. And that's, again, why affirmations are so important, because it's easy to get disappointed, jaded, negative if you have had a bad day, and you're going to choose the news over Joyce Meyer. Just kidding. But, like, you're just going to, this business is challenging. the variable in our business, the common variable is people. And people will disappoint you. They will rain on your parade. They won't believe in you. They will poo-poo your dream and these products and tell you it's a scam and a scheme and a pyramid. I mean, we've heard it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why your belief is going to make or break your business. You have to have your line. I say my line is drawn so deep in the sand it touches China. There is not one thing anybody could ever say to me to break my belief in myself, these products, my team, this opportunity, our executives, everything. And see, when you have that conviction and that, that is kind of unusual in life. Not many people run around and have this belief and they dream big and they're going to go after their goals. And so when you own that, you give permission then for others to own it. So, there's that saying, if it is to be, it's up to me. And all of it is tied together, all based on your belief. And so, we have to create this whole business to happen for ourselves, right? We have to set the goals. We have to do everything. Well, where is that all going to come from? That we believe we can do it. We have to see it. We have to be visionary. And really the only difference between top ambassadors, jewels in this company, and the ones who aren't there yet, is that they had that ability to transfer their belief to their team. Because you can't just, it's not about us and all of our goals and dreams. I mean, the only way we're going to ever get what we want is when we help enough other people to get what they want. And they have to believe for themselves. And so it all starts with us. And it's what's so exciting about that, because it can be very scary and overwhelming and like, oh my gosh, how is this ever going to happen? It's just the day in, day out, affirmations, income-producing activities. And you just feel the fear and do it anyway, because then all of a sudden your confidence will grow because of the activity. And, you can't learn this business from the back office. You have to go and do it. Way more is going to be learned out in the field to become a great ambassador, teacher, trainer, leader, all that by just doing it. And you'll never do all of it if you don't have that belief first. And, I guess you can, and then you grow into it. You feel the fear and do it anyway, and then you become that person. But it has to start somewhere. And so, it's everything. And when you're giving it to other people, then they can start to see for themselves. So it's an awesome responsibility. But when it happens, you can say, it's because I worked hard and I chose to be a victorious person on this journey and do it and overcome all my challenges and all my fears. And that's the greatest thing about achieving success, is the person that you become in the process. We hear that a lot. It's not about the destination, it's the journey. And all those things will happen along the way to help you to become the best person that you can be. And that's really what I love most about network marketing. You will become a better person in the process. You'll become the person that God created you to be. And what more can you do to serve Him, than just to honor His calling for your life? I feel like when we started talking about that from the beginning, how so many people were praying for this opportunity. Well, to become a diamond in this company, it's all about being a servant and learning, to become the best person and give that away to other people. And what more meaningful, purposeful work could there ever be in our lifetime, right? That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
I cry.
So true. Don't cry.
One of my favorite things that I've said this entire meeting or hangout.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. And it's really hard, and I know that it's hard for some people to hear the word no, but no to me just drives me more. It just pushes me. It's like it makes me want to do better. It pushes me so much just to get like negative things thrown at me. It just pushes me. I don't know why. I love it, honestly.
Good. Well, that's the thing. You want to be the person when they say no, you say, well, I'll show you, rather than, really? No? I mean,
exactly.
No way. They're not gonna have the last word.
Yeah.
I think that's something that, I mean, anybody that's been in this business for a long period of time have had to deal with that. People just, what you said, like wanting to rain on your parade and let you know that this isn't going to happen for you because this isn't real life. This doesn't happen to normal people, but that it is. I mean, if you believe in yourself enough, you want to show them. No, it does happen to people like me.
Yep.
Um,
No means next.
Yes.
or not right now for
And
some
and you
people.
planted your seed too. I feel like that's so important. Like some people say no, but you've planted your seed with them, and they may come back later. You never know. So no's aren't always a bad thing.
Nope.
No.
We got to get them, right? I mean, really, realistically, like everybody's going to say, yes, I'm ready, I'm going to buy, I'm going to join. I mean, come on, that's not life.
I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. Like the very first meeting I went to, Sonia Dudley was actually hosting it, and I mean, she's the same way. She just has that passion and inspiration. It just like rolls off of her. And I like literally left that meeting thinking, oh my gosh, everybody's gonna be rich, everybody's gonna be Plexus, and we're all gonna be diamonds.
I love
And then I go home and people told me no, and I was like, what? What do you mean no? Like
this wasn't supposed to happen.
I was so confused.
I love it. That's hilarious.
So true.
So once people get to gold or senior gold, I feel like a lot of people really struggle with taking on that leadership role. So would you care to give us some advice on how to really embrace that role and some things that we should be practicing as leaders? Also, how early do you feel like we would become leaders? Like when we first sign up somebody or once we hit a certain rank?
Well, leadership is just influence. So all of us are leaders. We're leaders in our home. We're leaders to our friends. We are, women and men of influence. So whether you have one customer or, one ambassador, you're already a leader. So I would say gold and senior gold is definitely a time where you could start your own Facebook group. And my feeling is the only way to lead, people think leadership is so much more complicated than it is. I mean, there is a lot to learn to become a good leader, but leadership being that it's influence and an example, that is really all we have to remember to be confident that we can become leaders. So like I said earlier about the whole going silver every month, we need to be in the field leaders. We need to be leading by example all the time. More is caught than taught. So they're going to see you doing it no matter what rank you are. But obviously, we're talking about gold and senior gold. Going silver every month, teaching them to go silver every month will allow them to, have that exponential growth on your team for you to go to emerald. That's how simple this is. And so, what do you post in your groups? I know people talk about that a lot, being a leader, like, what do I do? Well, share with them the good and the bad. I tried to sell a 3-day trial today, and I got somebody laughed at me and made fun of me. I mean, share those things with your team. Share that when you have successes. But, we need to be very transparent to build trust with our team. And that is a huge component to building a team, is that they see that you are vulnerable and you're going to make mistakes and you're real, and that you're learning alongside with them to be a good leader, and you're going to take them all with you to the top. And those things can be shared in Facebook groups. I think we can misuse Facebook groups. We can just introduce people left and right all day, share other posts from people, but no post will ever get more likes than you being vulnerable and real. And that is something that I think for you to catapult you to the next level, to become an emerald, and for people to want what you have, because it's going to be a lot of it. They're watching you. Why would they want to follow and be a part of your team and your success, and how will they see that happen for themselves? It's all going to go back to our responsibility to be that example, and then to just be that transparent leader, and to encourage them, love on them, duplicate each month, all of you getting silver together. I'm not a huge contest person. I feel like, the company ones are great. I'll do a few in the interim, but what about our purpose and our why of changing lives and bettering our family's finances? Isn't that motivation enough? So those are some of my thoughts on how to really get to that next level. I know people get stuck, and sometimes, that's okay. I think that's where the valleys are, where the growth is going to happen that needs to happen for you to become a good leader. I would rather have it take people a little bit longer to get to the top and learn those hard lessons on the way, so they're a more effective leader when they do become an emerald, sapphire, and diamond. I've seen it done both ways, and I just believe that is a much better way to learn them along the way, and trust the journey, trust the process. That's a huge conversation you should be having, anybody, with your team all the time, because of people's frustrations and where they're at mentally on the journey. It just can get them stuck mentally on not believing that they can do it. And so I hope that kind of helps, the whole keeping it real thing. I know, people, Sonia and I, we get so many amazing messages. It's so humbling. But I will tell you, the ones they always start out with is that we love you guys because you're just real. You're real people. They see us cry. They see us, be goofy. And I just think people miss that part of it, how important that is, because we're all just human, and we want to have, our job also is to become connectors of other people. And the strongest teams are going to be those who feel like they're part of this family and they can believe and trust in their leader. And that's going to happen when you have that vulnerability about you.
That is really good advice. Thank you for sharing that. I know that's something that I personally, in my own journey, before Plexus, I wasn't really big on Facebook. I wasn't big about sharing my feelings. Like, I just never wanted anybody to ever see me emotional, or it was just like a guard thing that I had up. And just learning to be transparent is something that I've definitely have been developing, over the past couple years in this journey.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. And Kara, I'm a lot that same way. I didn't. I'm not as verbal. I'm not near as emotional. Sonia's more emotional if you were going to compare. So I want you to know I sort of had to learn that whole part about social media because I wasn't a big Facebook person. So then all of a sudden I'm going to be posting about my business, but then I got to really be real and show my family and this and that. And I'm not saying, you have to, like that is the only way, but I feel like my life is an example, and I want it to inspire people. I want people to see if she can do it, I can do it. It's as simple as that, really. We're not perfect. There's not any secret formula. If there was, I would tell you it's all about your relationships. Your paycheck's going to be reflected in your relationships and your ability to relate to people and love on people. That's really where it's going to show up. So how do you do that? You've got to be real and put people first and value people. And that's, again, going back to that transparency and all that.
That's awesome. I have another question. Imagine that. We have lots. What do you think really got your business up and going to the point that you made Diamond? What were some of the things that you really you said you made Diamond in 9 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
9 months. So what do you think were some of the things that really, really contributed to that?
Well, from the beginning, Sonia and I, we told ourselves we would have those conversations. We were like, you know what, we're going to the top. And it wasn't about being cocky or anything like that. It was just like, oh my gosh, like we are going to go to Maui. Like we're going to get our Lexus. We are going to be top leaders in this company. I mean, we talked about it a lot. So that goes to what you think about, you bring about. But because of our experience in network marketing, almost 20 years prior to Plexus, we went to in our old business, we went to 4 self-improvement workshops a year. Now, they were our conventions and our career conferences and things like that, but they always had speakers like John Maxwell and Les Brown at them, and we had excellent training in our former company. And I think we felt like when we left it, we had so many skills that we were like, gosh, it's kind of like a waste. I mean, I know you can go work for, someone else and apply good people skills and things like that, but we just felt like we had so much to offer. We knew so many things about network marketing, and through all of our training, it was just like layers and layers, like getting our master's degree in people and everything. So I think that's why I believe, God gave us amazing people from the get-go, and it happened fast for us because we were somewhat equipped with all of our knowledge to be effective leaders in this company. And I hope that sounds like right. I hope that nobody would take that like we're bragging or anything. It's just, we had experience. Now, there's plenty of people who had no network marketing experience, like Celeste, for example, and she's been, she's the #1 ambassador in the whole company, but her paycheck is a complete reflection of her ability to connect and love on people and keep it real, and relationships have always been a priority in her life. And she talked about that from the convention stage, this last convention, the diamond panel she was on. It's like, I've been working on my double diamond for 38 years. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, that's really, when it goes faster for some people, I believe that's a huge component of it. We still had to work hard. We started, training calls for our team. We had a huge page. We got a website. I mean, we worked almost 7 days a week. And I am telling you that because it's true, and people have to understand, if you want to suddenly make a 6-figure income and be a leader in this company, you have got to put in the work, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears. There is no shortcuts, and there's no way around it. So that is, what we did, and I applied some of my skills with my local team here and started gold and above leadership trainings. I started holding regular events here. And a lot of people would be like, gosh, how do you know what to do? And it's like, well, this is what we did in my other business, and it's just Plexus instead. It's way funner, more rewarding, health and wealth, baby. So it was just, excitement, passion, commitment, work, that doesn't feel like work from day one, and belief with a capital B.
To me, that doesn't sound like bragging at all. It's more of like
not at all.
I was thinking the same that thing. Like, we don't have to come in this business and have these skills mastered in our first month as an ambassador. And I feel like a lot of people maybe kind of think that they don't know how to talk to people, or do what they need to do in this business. If they don't have it mastered in the first month, then it's just not for them. And the fact that you shared that you had almost 20 years prior experience on how to do this business beforehand is something that really helped you. I feel like should help encourage people that just keep getting a little more experience.
It's true. In the book, The 21 Laws, I'm reading with my team, and John Maxwell talks about, there's a chapter, I can't remember which or law it was, but it was about, I think it was the law of process. And he talked to a college guy who just had graduated, I think, from college, and he wanted to be a leader. And he said, for the next 20 years, work on these things. It was 2 decades of work, and then you'll be a person of influence. And that was an example of how, to build your credibility and to really become a master at this. It's so many years and years and years of learning and growing. There's no way around it.
So true. Kira, did you have any more questions?
I had one other one, but I think Helen actually answered that at the beginning of her
Okay, I thought
story, so yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Well, my last question won't take long at all. How are you loving your new Lexus so far?
Oh my gosh, that thing can drive. It can almost drive itself. It's such a blessing. And like I wrote in my post yesterday, it's a representation of, this is where I can cry. It's just tens of thousands of lives changed. And to be witness to that, to be a part of that, to have a small part in people's lives being changed for the better, it's, the car is fun, don't get me wrong, but that's where I get emotional. It's like really? And I'm just one of many now. There's over 70 diamonds, and it's humbling to say the least. There's no greater job on the planet, and I mean that with all my heart. And somebody said, gosh, you're just as excited about Plexus as you were from day one. I'm like, just as? I'm like a million times more excited about Plexus. Are you kidding? To be able to see what's happened, have a front row seat to people's dreams coming true and people I love and care about and new friendships that I treasure and you guys. And it's just, there's just no words. It's so overwhelming at times. I literally don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
And how many people get to experience that in their lifetime? I mean, it's so
awesome. I actually have a picture. I'm going to try to show it on my phone. You can see it.
Yay!
There's Helen's.
That's so great.
Can you guys see it okay?
Yes.
It's kind of like...
Come out to Reno and drive it. You guys are welcome anytime.
Hey, that sounds fun. And here's Helen.
Aww.
On her car. So cute.
I love it. Thank you.
So exciting.
It wasn't even supposed to get here till Friday. I was just going to sign the paperwork, and they're like, "Oh, it just arrived." I'm like, "What?"
Oh wow.
I know.
Happy Thanksgiving surprise.
I know, right?
Christmas.
What am I gonna wear? I'm gonna take pictures. It's gonna be all over Facebook, and I was already in that outfit, so whatever.
So how many Lexuses have you had? I know. Is this your?
This is our fourth, yeah, because my husband, my first one was when I became an emerald in March of 2013, and then I became a diamond that summer, but my husband didn't become an emerald until that fall of 2013. So I waited until November to get the black Lexus, and then he just took over my white Lexus that I got in March for his payments. So last March of this year, it had been 2 years, so we got another white Lexus. We changed from the RX 350 to the NX. And then this month, I was up for my renewal for my diamond. So that's how it's happened, where we got 4. And I mean, you know, I'm just amazed. Like, people, that is such a great tool for people to get their attention. I have never gotten more males interested now, like commenting, sharing the post. People were tagging their husbands, men's names. I had 2 men private message me, congratulating me. I didn't even know, just for a black sports car. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So 3-4 years ago, did you ever think that you would have 4 Lexuses within the next couple years of your life, like going on trips to Hawaii every single year?
Yeah, I mean, never. Never. What's funny is I had my last, now everybody will know what cosmetic company I was with, but I had a pink Cadillac that my second one that I earned in that company. I took the cash instead, and I bought a used white Lexus RX 300. So that's why I picked that car. I had that when I joined Plexus, and my younger son gets car sick a lot. Well, not anymore, but he did. So you can only imagine when it would get hot, my car would stink. I had bounce sheets under the back seat. So I had like this nasty Lexus. So for me to like even get a new one, that was like the greatest thing ever. But then to have 4, I mean, are you kidding? No. I just think, you know, who am I? Just this little, you know, gal from Reno, Nevada who, you know, decided to just say yes and apply some skills and dream big. And it's crazy. You know, the trips, everything. It's just unbelievable how Plexus spoils us. And you guys will be there too. I have no doubt.
We can't wait to be standing beside you as diamonds.
I know.
We'll both be there.
It'll be so awesome. We'll talk about this call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our call. We're so blessed to have you, and I can't wait to share this video with everyone because you just provided so much information for us, and I'm just so excited. And thank you so much. I was like really nervous to message you and ask you to be on the call, but just the fact that you got back with me so quick, and I felt so like loved that you guys got back with me so quick. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
A couple of our rock stars. Are you kidding? It's our honor and privilege, and I can't wait to see Sonia. Sonia's in a couple more weeks. It's going to be awesome, of course.
Yeah.
I know. I can't wait.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Mm-hmm. Love you both.
Love you.
Thank you, Helen.
Good night.
Good night.